Jesus Christ, it's all over my bloody trousers.
Is this enough? With James O'Donoghue and David Hoare.
Leave your attitude at the door, buddy. And welcome to episode 52 of Is This Enough? My name is James O'Donoghue, and with me, as always, is David Hoare. This is the truly excellent and brilliant game show that is both excellent and, get this, brilliant. David's got a mug with his own face on it, and we've come up with 3 rounds each, guaranteed, and neither of us knows what the other one has prepared.
Have I shown you this mug?
You have shown me this mug.
Okay, great. For those of you who don't know, I got wisdom teeth surgery, and I tried to record a little vlog for my friend when my face was numb and I was high on morphine. And I tried to say, I'll keep you updated. But instead I said, I'll keep you up toasted. And then my girlfriend commissioned my friend to turn me into... She just said, can you make him a piece of... basically, he misread the message and he's like adamant that she said, can you turn him into a piece of bread? And then he reread the email and that's not what it said. And she was like, but this is much better. So, but I look out of it because I was.
As this is our 52nd episode, it would be conceivable that we have done all of this within the space of the year. That would be conceivable. However, David has ADHD. I'm depressed. There's no way that would fucking work.
I can sometimes be depressed. No.
Hey, sometimes no dopamine is sad.
Hey guys, we all get dyslexia from time to time. So.
Oh, fiddlesticks. What about dyscalculia? Count this. There is, of course, all to play for because there is a prize for the winner. There's also a forfeit for the loser. And as does tend to happen on this show, our official adjudicator will be none other than the Right Honourable Robert Walpole, the first Prime Minister.
Number 1.
It's not fucking war. It's not fucking war. It's not fucking war.
Hello, boys! Well, I'm very happy to be presiding over the 52nd episode of the podcast. I remember when I was 52, I buckled my shoe. You see, it was all the rage back then. We didn't have your forms of entertainment like Dreamcast, skipping ropes, and anal bleaching. More's the pity. David, have you ever had a Dreamcast?
I never had a Dreamcast, no. I played one.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't. I died 300 years before they were made.
Sorry to hear that. You have lovely shoe buckles, though.
Whoa, aren't they shine? Last week, David won a signed copy of Jeremy Paxman's autobiography. Yes. Whereas James lost and was given piles. So a normal week for old Jimothy. This week, the winner gets a sign from God. The loser gets a signed copy of the box set of Come Fly With Me, signed by David Walliams. Good luck, boys!
Shall kingdom walls of Jericho, word whispered in the wind, and it said, Robert fucking Warble. Robert fucking Warble. Yeah.
So, David,
Yes.
before we start, are you
Yes.
prepared?
Yes.
Good. Are you excited?
Yes.
Do you pledge to abide by the 3 rules of the show? Need I remind you?
Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife. Keep it light, keep it tight, please don't fuck my wife.
I shall try my best.
And might this finally be enough?
Maybe.
Or if it ever is entirely enough, we will finish the show. As such, let's start with round one.
Round one. Oh my great goodness. Round one is, of course, called General Knowledge. 52 it took me to get to Glenroll.
What a deep bucket this is.
Was Glenn Close in this film?
Here we go.
Glenn Close was born on March 19th, 1947. Between
Whoa. I'm only hearing about that now.
Yeah. Even more interestingly, between 1994 and 1999, she was in a relationship with a man called Steve Beers.
Inventor of multiple beers. Before him, you could have one. That was it.
Have you heard who Glenn Close is saying? Who? Steve Beers. Does he?
Beers,
Yes, he does.
Beers Close? I hope so.
They should have got married and double-barreled their names.
Oh my god, get them on the phone right now.
Why did their relationship fall apart in 1999? Damn you, Phantom Menace! Okay.
2 years before 9/11.
Mm.
You think they're related?
Keep it light. You've broken one of the rules already. And I was thinking, as I keep on thinking, why is Donald Trump inspired by the Phantom Menace? Trade war? What? Why are you inspired by that one? Anyway, keep it light. James, was Glenn Close in this film? It's for 1,947 points question, because that's when Glenn Close was born. If you think she was on the set of this film, you will answer Glenn Close. If you do not think she was on it, you will answer Glenn Far Away. Do you understand?
Oh, I understand on every conceivable level.
Hooray! Great. Question number one. Was Glenn Close in The Chum Scrubber?
Glenn Far Away, I hope.
I'm sorry, Glenn
Oh,
Close.
no.
No.
What on the tits is the Chum Scrubber?
Question number two. Was Glenn Close in Albert Nobbs?
Glenn Close.
Correct, Glenn Close. Yes, she was indeed in both The Chum Scrubber and Albert Nobbs.
But who
Question
does
number...
Nobbs?
Not Steve Beers. Question number three. Hook. Was Glenn Close in Hook?
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close.
Yeah.
Rather than Glenn Far Away. Correct. Yeah. She plays a pirate with a beard, and it's one of those things where when you look at, you don't recognize it, and then when someone goes, "That's Glenn Close," you go, oh, "Of course, it's Glenn Close." There's several really fantastic cameos in that film, which sort of level out the fact that it's very long and not. It's nostalgia really makes that film great. There's a really pretentious film podcast where they're like in their kitchen and it's two guys and they're like, yeah. And like one of them recently said that Hook was his favorite Spielberg film. And I really don't mind if you like things that I don't like as long as it's not hurting anyone. But like, what?
That is a contrarian.
What?
That is a contrarian's gambit.
What? Anyway, correct, James. That's the points to you there. Question number four. Cheaper by the dozen.
Glenn Far Away.
Correct. Glenn Close was not one of the dozen. Number.
We're adopting some kids. Oh, look. It's Glenn Close. You know, my agent said this would be a good gig.
Just Steve Martin as a domineering father being like, "You're not dating Steve Beers. He's a bad influence.
He's gonna get you drinking underage. Oh, honey, it's too late for that." Harvey Feinstein.
Steve Martin impression.
Harvey Feinstein is playing Glenn Close in this, and James Gandolfini is playing Steve Martin. They say they're cheaper by the dozen now. Come on.
Question number 5.
David, I went to the Royal Central School of Speech and fucking Drama.
Oh, is that why you shag so much?
Bloody didn't know. I'll tell you
Dramatically.
that for free. Fucking Lambda stands for
Yeah.
laying about making babies. No,
Yeah. He
make
got a drama degree and he specializes in monologues.
now that's a wank joke. Oh.
I'm going to tell a joke now that I was told by someone else. I don't know who wrote it, but I'm going to tell you a joke. I don't know if you've heard this joke. It's not by me. I don't know who wrote it, but I like it. James, a man walks into a cafe. On the counter at the cafe, there's a sign. It says, cheese rolls, £1. Ham rolls, £2. Wanks, £10. There's a very lovely looking lady behind the counter, and the man says, are you the one that gives the wanks? And she says, yes, I am. And he says, well, wash your hands. I want 2 cheese rolls.
That's very good. That's very good.
My friend Alex for telling me that down the phone and then immediately hanging up. Good. Question number 5. Was Glenn Close in Grizzle Sincerely?
Glenn Close.
Glenn far away. Made it up.
Oh. It sounds like it won an Oscar in the late 90s.
Should have done. Question number 6. Was Glenn Close in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Glenn Close.
Yes. I'd forgotten that, and I've seen that film. That's how much I've removed all of those Marvel movies from my brain. Question number 7. The Stone Boy?
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, correct. 2 more.
Your face is made of stone. What's the matter with you?
Boy.
Boy.
Event Horizon?
Glenn Far Away.
Correct. She was not. Thank God.
Ah, bloody hell, I'm Sam Neill. I'm in space. That's that film.
Are you going for that over Sean Petrie? Oh, fucking hell. There's a fucking blood orgy happening over here. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, bloody hell.
No.
Oh, bloody space going wrong. That's more my dad's speed. I'm a real geezer. Here's my dad. Fancy John Pertwee. Good heavens, man.
Jolie Richardson is high enough up in the world that she's been sent out to solve a space mystery as an astronaut, and yet is still receiving some of the most amount of misogyny and anyway, keep it light. Question number 9, your final one. Was Glenn Close in Warcraft?
Regrettably, Glenn Close.
Uncredited cameo in Warcraft. For the audio listener there, James looks crestfallen, which is the worst toothpaste. At the end of that round, James, you have 13,629. It's over to you for round 2.
Round 2.
Thank you, David. David, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority has long been the authority in all things vehicular in these United Kingdoms. It is now compulsory to complete a theory and practical test in order to drive. Both are difficult, but while the practical one is difficult because it is hard, the theory is difficult because it cannot decide whether it is the easiest thing you'll ever do or the hardest thing you'll ever do. So, David, let's see how well you do as we play the United Kingdom Theory Driving Examination.
I failed my first theory test.
Well, you might fail your third. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you answer them, that would be good. If you get under 60% correct, your license will be revoked. Each correct question is 1,996 points, because that was the year that the UK driving theory became into effect. David.
In 1996?
It did indeed. I don't think it was compulsory until later, though.
The height of Britpop?
Yeah. That's
Oasis.
why... that's why Oasis and Blur both have songs about the colour of cat's eyes on motorways. You gotta roll with it. You gotta decrease your speed and look right. It's about roundabouts. David, question 1. Driving. Fucking sick, yeah? A, yeah, or B, fuck nah.
Yeah, A.
Correct, David. Well done. That is 1,996 points. David,
Yeah.
cars were invented by Alan Carr. It's not a laughing matter.
Can I just double check if it's Alan Carr, the comedian, or Alan Carr, the quit smoking expert?
It's Alan Carr, the comedian.
Okay, then false.
False. Your options were A, yes, we're grateful. B, don't piss in my pocket and tell me it's raining. So you're going for B.
Yeah.
That's incorrect. I'm sorry, David.
Shit. Do you know about Alan Carr, the comedian, when he was first getting into comedy and he'd only just sort of to start make some waves, and he got offered a lot of money to come and speak at a stop smoking event in Japan, and he had to be like, "Do you mean me, Alan Carr?" And they were like, "No."
Oh, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. David, question number 3.
Yeah.
Oh, no, do go on, please.
I don't know. I'm just excited for the questions.
As you should be.
Yeah.
Number 3. It is legal to drive in the United Kingdom. A. But of course. B. Not under barmy starmy. I tell you that for free.
B.
B. Correct, David. Can't bloody do anything anymore. Under Keir Starmer. Under Road Rage Rainer. Question 4. You're driving down a road at 20 miles per hour, but you have just remembered you forgot to wipe earlier while using the loo at Medway Services. You feel awful, simply awful. Do you A, find an alternative bathroom? B, go back to Medway and finish the fucking job? C, drive on and feel shame? Or D, drive on and feel no shame?
D.
D. Correct, David.
Mm.
Anything else would be cowardice.
Mm.
Itchy, stinky cowardice. And finally, David, question number 5. You are not allowed to drive on train tracks. A, you can't tell me what to do. B, I'm literally driving a train. C, I'm figuratively driving a train. Or D, I'm Alan Carr. Gaze upon my works, ye mighty, and despair.
D. Is that what he says at the end of Back to the Future 3?
No, it's what he says at the end of every episode of Alan Carr, Chatty Man. But correct. Well done, David.
Yes.
I see you know your UK licensing regulation well.
Thank you.
And as such, I'm going to say a hearty congratulations on passing your UK theory driving test.
Yes.
It's over for you.
Oh.
As in the test is over for you.
Okay, great.
And it's over to you for round 3.
Round 3. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. James, round 3 is called How Are You, James? James, how are you, James?
I thought you'd never ask.
Really? We're 52 episodes in.
Every episode to me is a mystery. David, I'm good. I'm having a lovely old week. I yesterday realised that I was having a very nice day. It took a while. It took till about 8 in the evening.
Does this guy have depression or what?
I've had a very nice week of gigs. They've all been odd in their own way. I did a gig in a Jewish community center. That was on Thursday. Then on Friday, I did a gig in a Christian school. And then on Saturday, I did a gig in the Bill Murray pub, which I guess is a mosque. So that is all 3 of the Abrahamic faiths covered. Bloody, Wonder where that idea for that last round came from. Passed him a bloody driving test. Sure it did. Little congratulatory burp there. Not quite
This
enough.
for me as well. There we go.
Excuse me. Excuse me. It's the rest of the podcast now.
Send in your email us at isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com with your congratulatory burps.
Thank you very much. That'd be very much appreciated. Yes, did very drives. Did lots of drives. I was going to say I did very well, and I was like, not really. Got a few minors. I'd like to give a shout out to my examiner, Christopher Peter Bacon. That is his name, and I'm only telling you this because he introduced himself with his full name, and I was distracted through the entire lesson because no one's going to believe that you had a driving test with Crispy Bacon.
Maybe that helped you pass the test.
Maybe.
You weren't overthinking it.
Yeah.
And you were just like, well, I'll do this maneuver, fine, but he's called Crispy Bacon.
Yeah. What am I gonna get top by some treif motherfucker? Oi! Who's this Haram guy?
Before or after you did the gig in the Jewish community center?
This was before. I had to go to a mikveh to cleanse myself. It was 10 out of 10. Very good experience. And then came home, looked at getting myself on my girlfriend's car insurance and thought, oh my God, what a mistake I've made with my life. So currently
top tip from David Hoare: pass your test when you're young.
Yeah.
Don't drive for 10 years. My girlfriend was like, well, I'll put you on the insurance of my car when I started to drive again. She was like, but you'll just have to pay like whatever, like the exit, like, you know, pay how much increases by. My no claims lowered the cost of her overall insurance.
Sick.
And she opened the envelope. You owe me minus whatever it was, and I was like, hooray! I guess you can't plan for that. For those of you listening but not watching, James did a facial impression of Glenn Close. Or
Glenn
Steve
Close.
Martin. I can't remember.
Glenn Close getting the script through for
Inflation by the dozen.
But yeah, driving. I'm now doing a Pass Plus course, which means yet more time with driving instructors who are a special breed. Give us your driving instructor stories if you're listening. I got in the car with my current instructor, and within 15 minutes, he told me about how he believes that Sadiq Khan is turning London into a 15-minute city.
Okay.
We then drove for over 15 minutes. We then drove for a long while.
Okay. I like when people who you've only just met are like, oh, here's my theory. I mean, I have weird ideas that I sometimes tell people, and they're like, when did you come up with this? And I'm like, I sit on the M5 for like 2 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So I can believe that driving instructors are just driving around from place to place being like, here's my crazy ideas. I'm trying to put that into creative endeavors.
Do you think
whatever that guy is,
there's like a tendency for some comedians, they hit middle age and they have a bit of a swing to the right? Do you think that's just due to long stretches in cars alone down motorways with nothing but talk sport? Or do you think that's class elements working?
I think that some of them are just not vocalizing what they think that much.
Yeah, some of them have been right wing for ages.
Start to care less, and they're like, "Well, who's going to pay for this?" And you're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah." That's probably a more realistic theory than. Although just sat on a motorway breathing in fumes for a bit. Tune in next year, folks, when I'm going to start the podcast with a
Here's your thing about the Jacobins.
Yeah. When we've suddenly got John Cleese on our podcast inexplicably.
Yeah. Stephen Fry is here, and he's going to say something about one of the Abrahamic faiths. We'll let you guess which one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to becoming a
Him
car
and
guy.
Dave Grohl both, and Will Smith. It's really funny seeing people who were just massive for forever and could do no wrong are all on the apology trail at the moment. If you notice that Nirvana just keep on popping up in places. Not Foo Fighters. Nirvana keep on just popping up in places. And I feel like Dave Grohl's like, oops, had a child out of wedlock. Everyone thought I was just the nicest man ever.
Yeah.
But if I do Nirvana, they'll be like, well, this is Nirvana.
Mm.
Have you seen who's got a new album coming out? Well, slap you in the face. It's Will Smith.
Woo!
No, that's Ric Flair. Anyway, congratulations on your driving test. I'm very proud of you.
I'm excited to become a car guy. I'm looking forward to investing in air fresheners, spending Saturdays cleaning a thing.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. You're gonna really latch onto certain podcasts and be like, this keeps me alive.
Yes. What podcasts? Well, it's got a little guy that I like to call Constantly Kissing.
That's how you turn.
Yeah.
They're not even right wing. They're centrist in inverted commas. They're just assholes. What? I didn't say that allegedly. Well, James, because you're not right wing yet, I'm gonna.
Yet being the operative word.
It's a big.
I'm just saying. Why am I paying all this tax?
No,
I'm joking. I would love the opportunity to pay tax.
As in, well, I'm
money.
giving you 48,000 points because Alan Carr is 48 years old. It's over to you for round 4.
Round 4.
I'm just reading the notes that I've got for myself here. David, how are you?
Have you gone a bit James O'Brien?
David, how are you? Come on.
But you just said, how are you? James.
Stupid boy.
Oh, O'Donoghue, I am quite good. Thank you very much.
Hey.
You came in here and we did the live episode of Is This Enough? Which
we sure did.
Listen, that was last week's episode that came out. Lots of fun, lots to be learned. And then a few days after that, I turned 36, which was 30 sick. And I did the most low maintenance birthday I've ever done. And at the end, I was incredibly content. And I wasn't rushing around trying to appease other people for my birthday. And I've had friends who are older than me when I'm younger going like, they're like, oh, it's my birthday. And I'm like, what are you doing for your birthday? And they're like, nothing. And I'm like, what? And then I hit 36 and I went, oh, no one is like, oh, you're turning 36. Oh, we should probably come out for that.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No one's
hyped
to see
babysitters. Everyone's hyped to see me. Did you say?
No one's hyped to see the 36-year-old birthday boy in his bib.
Yeah. Just realised just in the second that next year I'm going to be 10 years older than the 27 Club. Which is mental.
So you're going to have to die really cool.
No white Bic lighters for me, please. I'm not going to change my dominant hand. That's fine. Do you know all the things?
Absolutely. I have no idea what you just alluded to.
Do you know the 27 Club?
I know the 27 Club of people dying the 27, and people always attribute the wrong people to that as well. But...
Well, so there is famous people that died at 27, sure. But there are a bunch of famous people who died at 27, who I believe were all musicians, were all left-handed, and when they died, they all had a white Bic lighter in their pocket.
Okay.
Apparently. like Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, the guy from the Rolling Stones, and Kurt Cobain, and there's another one. Oh, Jim Morrison, I think. Because then people are like, Amy
Coincidence?
Winehouse died at 27, but I don't know if she was left-handed and had a white big lighter in her pocket.
Coincidence? I think so.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know. And it also could all be bullshit. They could not be left-handed.
They could not be dead. They could not be
Yeah.
dead.
I had some time off. Have you ever met anybody who's really like conspiracy theory about music stuff? I went to a
Yes.
gig with a guy who spent the entire evening trying to convince me that Syd Barrett wrote all of Dark Side of the Moon and refused to be paid for it because he was this mental genius. So they were chasing him down the road with checks, being like, Sid, we need to pay you. And I'm like, how do you get there in believing that?
Yeah. Again, the only good music story is old bald blokes in their 50s talking about synthesizers they were playing in Canterbury.
I mean, that's not true. There are many good music stories, but that is
Yeah,
a
but
good one.
all right, a crazy night out in Soho with Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, cool. But there's not going to be someone called Brian going, "What is this? All these sounds."
Yeah. Have you ever listened to how they discovered gated reverb, which then became the whole of like the 80s sound? Was when Peter Gabriel was making boring. Peter Gabriel was making his album with his best friend who's on drums called Phil Collins, and they were just talking to him only on the talkback mic, and then Phil Collins did a drum fill, and everyone was like, "You know that new sound you're looking for?"
Hey,
And it was
Phil
because
Collins, it's your cousin.
the talkback mic was so heavily compressed
Yeah,
that it didn't sound the same as all the other mics that they'd spent ages setting up, and like the history of recording sounded like that. And then all of Phil Collins, all of Peter Gabriel, all of Kate Bush, and loads of other stuff, all just has that sound because they just had the wrong.
well, we get all these sounds.
Yeah. Anyway, so I had 2 weeks off, which was I intend to have 1 week off, but I just ended up having. I basically only did like 2 gigs in the space of 14 days, which when you need the rest, you're like, yes. And then by the time you've had the rest, you come back and you're like, I need to not be shit at comedy. I should have too much rest. I need to make money. I've had too much rest. You can never win. But I've had some good gigs and traveled about, and I'm still in a place of like getting booked last minute quite a lot. And so like the day before, I think on a Wednesday, I got booked in the afternoon to go to support Ed Patrick in Dorchester, which was fine. I've kind of been planning this new bit that I've been doing, which I think I've mentioned to you about like Taylor Swift, the song Get Low and Bear Grylls. And then I arrived and the average age in Dorchester is about 900. So that's harsh. It was about 55 there. I met the youngest couple there and they met on a dating app, and I did a dating app joke as just a throwaway thing. And just looking at the blank faces of people not being like, oh, I'm bored of this, but they had no idea. They just had no idea. And I was like, all right, cool. That was a misstep. We'll just go back. But when I finished, Ed Patrick came and was like, I've never seen people more excited to sing along to the Antiques Roadshow theme tune. And I was like, yeah, baby.
That's a good bit.
And so, but then the next night I was in Nottingham and I did 2 gigs in a row. And in the second show, I think I've told you in the past, Just the Tonic Nottingham, their front row, they'll put a whole group there. In the past, they've had an entire butchers who were really annoying. Second show, an entire stag do, with the stag in a Hawaiian, whatever those neck things are. They fucking loved me.
Hey!
I did some silly jokes off the top, and I heard one of them go, "That's awful," whilst giggling. And then I did my joke about not packing enough underwear, and as I did it, half the stag do just started pointing at this one guy. And I was like, all right, mate, do you shit yourself a lot? And he was like, yeah. And then I did my joke about Get Low, and I was like, I heard it on the Need for Speed PlayStation
Yeah.
2 game, Need for Speed Underground. And suddenly a stag do was like, oh, yeah. And I just ad-libbed going, Saturday night, you take Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 out of the thing, and you put in Need for Speed Underground, and the entire stag do went.
I love it when you get people who are on paper a nightmare, but actually are good as gold. I had that last night with some finance workers, and took the piss out of them. I say took the piss out of them. At one point, I turned around and said, "I will hang you," and they loved it. It was a gamble.
Well, at Chops, you could actually see one of them because they're like, when we did this, there's enough. This couple had come back who had been there previously, and they were sat right next to where I'm sat. You can see the husband looking a bit baffled. That's his general facial expression. And him and his wife had come down a few weeks or months beforehand, and they are older than the people that usually come to Chops, and that's not any aspersions, just kind of more above the average age. And we've all done gigs where there are people who've kind of been dragged along by somebody and they look baffled the entire time. But I chatted to them, and I've forgotten her name, but she basically proceeded. I was like, how did you meet? And she was like, I met him on New Year's Eve. And I was like, oh, and did he woo? He was like, no, I basically jumped on him, and just proceeded to tell this like really hilarious story of her basically like wooing, but very like, we got a bit pissed. And then I was like, it's a really funny story. And they come back again. It was just like, I just wasn't expecting these people. I was expecting them to be like, oh, well, we've covered these and just, don't understand half these references or something, which is very much me casting my own aspersions. And they just ended up telling me the like funniest, dumbest. And with her husband just spent the whole time being like, I don't really know what's going on, but I love her. We're married and stuff.
Nice.
So great. So yeah, done all that, and then just sort of in the process of prepping for at the beginning of May. So May the 4th, I'm doing McCutler Comedy Festival at 4 p.m. at the Rugby Club, and then Brighton Fringe 8th and 9th at 9:15 p.m. at 3 Jolly Butchers, and then on the 11th of May, I'm recording my show 1000% Musical Comedy with support from the James O'Donoghue.
Now.
And so there'll be 2 shows that evening for me to record my show. Tickets on sale via my website or via Headfirst, but the link will be on my website or via Headfirst or where the Chops comedy tickets are. Please come to that. I'm going to record my show. It's going to be great. And James will be there to fluff you all beforehand. And then we'll do some comedy. But yeah, so I'm just sort of like aiming towards that, and then we've booked a holiday, and then by the time I get back from that,
As in
it's like,
David and his partner, not me and David.
what?
Uh-oh.
I've been missold some PPI. Me and my girlfriend are going on holiday, and then it'll be like the middle of May, and then I've booked in a few. Last year I didn't like do any music festivals, and then this year I've just booked in a few, and I'm like, and I keep on booking the music festivals and then looking at the lineup and A, liking the comedians that are on, but B, seeing like musicians that I know that are on the bill as well. And I'm just like, hooray! The perks of this job are weird.
Nice.
And so much of this job can like just make you insane. And then sometimes you get to go to a music festival, perform there, get paid, and then go watch your friend's band or go watch another band. And you're like, all right, this is all right, you know? Yeah. This is okay. So got older, improved a stag do's evening by talking about PlayStation 2, preparing for some cool gig stuff. But yeah, please come to my Mac show, my Brighton shows, and my recording in Bristol at Chops Comedy. And all the details are on my website, davidhoare.com.
Well, David, I'm going to stop you right there and tell you that you've just won 52,000 points. Well done, David. Bloody good heavens, Hoare.
Oh.
As such, the points stand at David Hoare is on 59,984, whereas I'm on 61,629. Well, bloody, there is all to play for here.
Jesus.
G-Zar.
Jesus.
Can't someone
Suspiciously.
show
I don't know what's happened. We were doing so well and we both just crumbled. Instantly. Instant crumble. Did someone order some crumble?
Bloody crumble sounds good.
Would you like some
I'm
ice cream with that crumble?
going to make a sticky toffee pudding tonight. And then, on the promise of such delights, it's time for round 5.
Round 5. Bureau de Joms. James O'Diddly Donoghue. Round 5 is, of course, called Hey James, what musical is this from?
Yes, come on now.
I'll play you a song from a musical, and you just have to tell me what musical is it from.
Awesome. I hate
It's
musicals.
Yeah, 2,042,377,893 points a question, because that's how many dollary doos Lion King the musical has made, despite being quite boring.
It's impossible for it to make a profit from ticket sales.
Who?
The Lion King.
Why?
It's so expensive to put on because of the technical specifications of the show. It's so expensive to put on that it only makes a profit through merch.
Well, that's a lot of t-shirts. Good. Well, I mean, it does have He Lives in You in it, which then went on to be in Lion King 2, and that is the best Disney song ever. But the musical is mostly just the film again, so it's very Uncanny Valley. And the way that the humans are pretending to be the creatures is a bit, I don't know. I also maybe just don't like anthropomorphized. Anyway, question number 1. What musical is this from? What?
I did know someone who was in it as an understudy for, I think, Mufasa. A very fine actor, and I hope they did well. And I hope they had fun. But yeah, I find musical theatre is such a bizarre world. It's so militarized.
Intense. Yeah.
Anyway, do go on.
What musical is this from? I fucking a 3 men in a week. That's a spicy meatball.
Oh, David, that is clearly Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia! That is 2,042,377 and 393 points to there. Slightly extending your lead. Question number 2. What musical is this from? Pussy.
Ah, come on, that's Cats.
You better believe it's Cats, otherwise
the best
I'd be
musical.
a horrible misogynist. Question number 3. What musical is this from? I did some cocaine and I wrote another musical. Lots of cocaine, and boy do I hate poor people. Cocaine, allegedly.
Is it Starlight Express?
Sure, why not? Just any of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals.
I knew someone who met Andrew Lloyd Webber and did a tour for him, did a private tour of a big estate. And Andrew Lloyd Webber disappeared to use the toilets, and he found him knee deep in his own sick in a cupboard.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
And
allegedly.
what did that inspire?
Evita.
Next year, cupboard puke.
Why is it only Lennon's in me? Why
cannot
can't you
do
leave your
this tour
stomach empty?
anymore? I cannot do this tour anymore. I need to vom 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 vom. Yeah. Somebody said that apparently close to the deadline of the sequel to Phantom of the Opera,
Love never dies.
Love Never Dies. Apparently, because he just uses a really old keyboard that relies on floppy disks, his cat walked across the keyboard and pushed a button that just deleted all the songs. And so, really close to the musical.
This was
He just had to-
definitely. This was post floppy disk. This was a post floppy disk time.
But that's just what he worked on. And
Incredible.
apparently, it's that or cocaine, allegedly. You know that Petty Flu advert? Why not both? Anyway, at the end of that round, James, you're on 6,127,100,095,308. It really takes a long time to say big numbers. Points, whereas I'm on 59,000 points. So it's all to play for. Oh, have you done another driving test? Congratulations. It's over to you for round 6.
Round 6.
Oh, David, what have I done? I've not written round 6 once more. Luckily, I know someone who could help us out with this.
What?
So, David, I'm going to go and get our guest. Oh, I'm very excited for this
by
one.
the way. Can you hear that banging? My dog is
No,
just
I hope you-
woken up at my feet.
Ah, look at that dog.
I was like, what the hell is that banging outside the window? And then I just realized it's my dog thumping her tail because she's basically woken up and gone, oh, hey, this guy. I love this guy.
Oh,
and
who's this?
not as much as she loves James, but she does love me. So that's nice.
Well, David, I hope she'll love our next guest. He's a returning guest, and he's very happy to be back.
Oh,
And he's more willing to talk about his most well-known project. So, David, here he is.
Yes. Hello, David. It's me, Tom Baker, also
Hi.
known as TV's most well-beloved Doctor Who. David Tennant. I'll serve him eviction papers. Yes. David, you might be
Yeah?
aware that the Radiophonic Workshop recently released their entire back catalogue that you can peruse. Yeah. I've been delving into the archives and my, I've found such things that dreams are made of. What things? Audio files. You'd have to have very mundane dreams. But really, David, I'm going to play you some audio from the likes of Delia Derbyshire or Ron Grainer, back before all sound designers were non-binary. You know, I'm very binary. You know, I'm very binary in the fact that I have 2 hearts. Yes, but really, fuck turfs. Once I play you said audio, can you tell me what episodes of Doctor Who they're from? Don't worry, though. I'll give you options. Otherwise, you'll have 60 years of possibility. 60 years of sound stages in West London, Cardiff, and using the Wales Millennium Centre foyer as a spaceship. Yes. So, David, do you know the BBC Radiophonic Workshop well?
I genuinely studied at a uni. Just like genuinely did. And I love the work of Delia Derbyshire and the Radiophonic Workshop. And so, what am I trying to work out? Sorry, I got a bit distracted.
I'm going to play you some audio, and I'm going to tell you some episodes of Doctor Who. You tell me which episode you think it's from.
Okay, great. I know the Radiophonic Workshop better than I know Doctor Who. So
What a prick.
here's hoping that all these are from early Eccleston episodes.
Oh, David, you see, during the Eccleston years, it had moved out of the radiophonic work. Anyway.
No, see, I don't even know. Yeah.
Is this from You know, I met Delia Derbyshire once. It was the night before she died. She said, "Tom, what are you doing in here?" I said, "Yeah." I can't remember anything. I can't remember anything after that. Anyway, David,
Jesus
what
Christ.
episode of Doctor Who is this from?
Yeah, Derbyshire.
Yeah. David, was that from Attack of the Cybermen or William Hartnell's New Hip?
Attack of the Cybermen.
Attack of the. Well done, David. I'm going to give you 1,963 points.
Oh, clawing it back.
Luckily, we have a million questions to get through.
Oh, good. That might contravene the first law of the show.
Keeping it light. Don't worry, David.
Oh, keeping it tight. It'll definitely be light. It's Doctor Who. It's for children. I mean, what? Did I say that out loud?
Yes. David, is this. Can you tell me what episode this is from? David, is that from Spearhead from Space or I would like to exchange these time travelers' checks?
Is it Spearhead from Space?
It's Spearhead from Space, David. Well done. Of course, a wonderful introduction of the character of the Master, played by Roger Delgado.
Okay.
David,
Yes.
what about this one? Is that from Curse of the Daleks or Damn, she's sucking on that eye stalk till I exterminate?
That made my ADHD go wild. That made my legs jiggle in a way that I haven't. Wow. A?
Yes, David. That would be. B would be unmentionable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you leave that stuff for Big Finish. David, what about this one? Is that from Survival with Sylvester McCoy or Hooray, the main character of this children's show just committed genocide again?
Ah, clearly B.
It is indeed B. Well done, David. I must say you're doing very well.
There was an episode of this children's show where it snowed on Christmas, but it was the ash of creatures that had exploded.
For kids. What about this, David?
Someone call the doctor. 'Cause I got a bad case of the blues.
David, is that Doctor Who, the Tom Waits musical, or could someone please wrestle this show out of John Nathan Turner's hands for the love of God? Yes.
I don't know what the time frame is to work out whether that was or wasn't Bleeding Gums Murphy. Was it B?
David, it was absolutely B. B for BBC. Well, David, that's 5 out of 5. I see you know your BBC radiophonic workshop well.
Yeah.
I'm off for a night out on the lash from anyone from the BBC from the 70s that's not in prison. Should be a quiet night, but probably messy. I might end up as Peter Davison. Ta-ta and farewell. K9, get your hands off my penis.
Tom Bloody Baker, how do we get these people,
He
David?
threatened to not keep it tight. He definitely didn't keep it light. So you better all go check your wives because
Oh, we know how he operates.
I don't trust Tom Baker.
Honey, darling.
Just sort of imagining Tom Baker having sex, but every time he thrusts, he goes. "Run-dun-dun, run-dun-dun, run-dun-dun." Sorry.
What a
Should we
lot
go-
of fun.
Should we end this episode?
No. Oh, David, all things come to an end. Sometimes. It's time.
Well, let's check the scores. My, what big numbers. What utter prick thought of that. David, at the end of the
Yes.
show, you
Yes.
have 69, lucky for some, and 799 points. Ooh, haven't you got a lovely head? Whereas James is steaming ahead with 6,127,195,308 points. So if I know my maths well, which I don't, the education system in the 1600s was a mess, James has won.
Oh,
So
well
James
done.
is going home with a sign from God. David, I hope you enjoy watching all of Come Fly With Me. I hope you enjoy having to pause it whenever someone comes into the room until you have to explain that it's for a podcast. Then they go, what podcast is it? You say, is this enough? They say, I've not heard of that one. You say, we're working on that. It's a very awkward interaction, and eventually the sun will shine again over the sea. Goodbye, boys!
Shocking down the walls of Jericho, a word whispered in the wind, and it said, Robert fucking Warble. Robert fucking Warble. Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, David,
Yeah.
if you've enjoyed the show, you can find us at Is That Enough Pod, or is fuck's sake, is that enough?
No, you can't.
You can find us at
Is that an
I'm
error?
I'm reading this off of the screen, and it's still not coming out right. You can find us at Is This Enough.
It's still not coming out right. Needs to become the new catchphrase of the show.
Fuck it.
Sorry.
No. Here, this is. Here it is. This enough. We're not quitters. Whatever our cerebellums might tell us. David.
Which Hitchens brother is still alive?
Peter.
Did you see he was interviewed by the Daily Mail in which he said that dyslexia isn't real and that it's just
Deploy
basically
me.
a money-making scheme to
Money
make
for
money
who?
off people who read poorly.
And I'm like, Big Pen.
How useless of a human being is he to be like, You know that thing that exists and definitely there's evidence that exists everywhere. That doesn't exist.
Hey, it's your cousin Marvin. You
Like-
know that awful take you've been looking for?
How little to society is he contributing? Anyway, carry on with your
He
made-up
is paid
disease.
very handsomely.
Mm.
Not a lot, but the people who hand him his paychecks, absolute smoke shows. David,
Yes.
you can find us at Is This Enough Pod on Insta, TikTok, and YouTube. You can email us at isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com. You can also be part of our mailing list on Substack at isthisenoughpod.substack.com, which is where you might find out about some exciting live shows in the future. You might also find some early access to our content. You might also find peace at last. David,
Is this enough podcasting at
podcasting,
is this enough podcast? I basically set up one, it fucked up, and then I set up another one with a very similar name. Is this enough podcast.substack.com? Sorry.
there we go.
Sorry everyone for the confusion.
Is this enough podcast at substack.com.
.substack.com.
.substack.
Just go to our link tree and
Go to our link tree and sit under its shade. David, fucking, where can people find you?
or at David Hoare LOL on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can follow my Substack at davidhoare.substack.com. Please come to my McCuntley show if you're at McCuntley Comedy Festival. Please come to my Brighton shows if you are in Brighton. Please come to my Bristol recording of my show, where James will also be there on the 11th of May. All links to that on my website, davidhoare.com. James, where can we find you, please?
I've been James O'Donoghue. You can find me at Is That James O on Insta, James O Comedy on Blue Sky, and Let the James Begin on TikTok. I have some exciting things coming up over the summer, over the next few weeks. I'm doing some nice gigs. You can find out about them. You can
Another driving test.
You can offer me work,
Mm,
but I wouldn't. Not after what you've seen.
I would. In fact, I have. You're going to come support me.
Well, I'll be.
Bye-bye, guys.